You walk into your garden on a beautiful summer morning, coffee in hand, feeling proud. And then you see it. Tomato leaves shredded, aphids marching up your peppers. Your squash plant? Destroyed overnight. So what do? You grab a spray bottle, neem oil, organic spray, something from the garden center. It works for a little while, but the pests always come back. And every year it feels like you're fighting the same war and losing ground. But what if I told you there are gardeners who've been growing food for over 300 years without using synthetic pesticides, and their gardens look better than most of ours? Today, I'm going to show you exactly how Amish gardeners control pests without chemicals and how you can use the same system in your backyard. And stick around to the end because I'll share one simple transplant trick that can save almost every seedling you plant. 1. The mindset shift. A few years ago, I visited Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and spent time observing Amish gardens. No pesticide bottles, no chemical sprayers, no panic. But the plants, strong, full, minimal damage. That's when I realized something important. They don't fight pests. They design gardens where pest problems rarely develop in the first place. In Amish culture, there's a principle called Gelassenheit, which means yielding to the natural order. In garden terms, that means stop trying to control everything. Start building balance. Because here's the truth. When you spray a pesticide, even an organic one, you're not just killing pests, you're also killing ladybugs, lacewings, parasitic wasps, ground beetles, the very insects that would have solved the problem for free. Amish gardening is about building a system where nature works for you. Here's how they do it.
2. Build the soil first. Most gardeners treat leaves. Amish gardeners build soil. Modern research backs this up. Studies from universities like Penn State and Cornell show that compost-rich, biologically active soil produces plants with stronger cell walls, higher natural defense compounds, better resistance to pests and disease. Healthy soil doesn't eliminate pests, it builds stronger plants. Here's what they do. Every spring, spread 2 to 3 inches of well-aged compost. Work it into the top 4 to 6 inches. If it includes aged manure, even better. And here's the key. They do it every single year. Not once, not occasionally, consistently. After 2 or 3 seasons, the difference is dramatic. Thicker stems, darker leaves, plants that bounce back from minor damage. Strong soil grows strong plants. 3. Never plant a crop alone. Most American gardens are planted in neat rows. Tomatoes here, cabbage there, squash in another section. It looks organized, but to a pest, that's an all-you-can-eat buffet. Many insects locate plants by smell, chemical signals released by leaves. Amish gardeners disrupt that signal using companion planting. This creates what scientists call olfactory confusion. For example, tomatoes are planted with basil, 1 basil for every 3 or 4 tomato plants. Basil helps repel aphids, hornworms, and whiteflies. Cabbage and broccoli are interplanted with dill or cilantro. Not only do these herbs repel cabbage moths, but when they flower, they attract parasitic wasps, which kill caterpillars from the inside. Around the borders, they plant French marigolds. Their roots suppress harmful nematodes in the soil. The rule is simple: never grow a crop alone. Confuse pests, attract allies. 4. Invite the good bugs. Here's something most of us forget. A healthy garden isn't one without insects, it's one with the right insects. 1 ladybug can eat up to 50 aphids a day. Lacewing larvae can consume hundreds. Ground beetles patrol at night eating slugs and grubs. So instead of killing everything, Amish gardeners feed their allies. They create something called an insectary strip. Along one edge of the garden, they plant sweet alyssum, yarrow, dill, fennel. These provide nectar and pollen from spring through fall. They also leave small wild areas, a clover patch, an unmowed edge, a pile of stones. Not messy, habitat. A perfectly clean garden is actually hostile to beneficial insects. If you want predators, you have to give them a place to live.
5. The morning walk. Now, here's the habit that might matter most. Every morning, before the heat sets in, Amish gardeners walk their gardens. Slowly. They flip leaves, check stems, look for eggs. And when they find pests, they remove them by hand and drop them in soapy water. It sounds simple, but most serious infestations start small. 2 hornworms on Monday become 20 by Friday. 15 minutes a day prevents explosions. This daily observation builds awareness. You stop reacting, you start preventing. 6. Trap crops. Here's where it gets clever. Instead of trying to keep pests out entirely, they redirect them. This is called trap cropping. For example, nasturtiums attract aphids more than beans or peppers. Plant them around the border. Aphids gather there instead. Radishes attract flea beetles. Plant them ahead of eggplants. Blue Hubbard squash draws squash vine borers away from other squash. You're not eliminating pests, you're guiding them somewhere you don't mind. That's strategic gardening.
7. Simple garlic spray. When pressure gets heavy, they use a simple deterrent spray. Garlic, hot peppers, water, a little dish soap. Steep overnight. Strain, spray undersides of leaves. It doesn't nuke everything, it makes plants unappealing. Used within a balanced system, that's usually enough. 8. The cardboard collar trick. And here's the transplant trick I promised. Cutworms chew through young stems at soil level overnight. Solution? Take a toilet paper roll. Cut it into 2 to 3 inch sections. Push 1 inch into the soil around each transplant. It creates a physical barrier. After 4 to 6 weeks, it breaks down naturally. Simple, free, effective. Sometimes the smartest solutions are the quietest ones. Here's the big lesson. Don't panic at the first bug. Don't plant monocultures. Don't sterilize your ecosystem. Instead, build soil, increase biodiversity, encourage predators, observe daily, redirect pests. Amish gardeners don't fight nature, they design with it. And when you shift from reaction to system design, everything changes. If this changed how you think about pest control, let me know in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into traditional gardening wisdom that actually works, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.